What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham, Gius, and Matthews break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the August 6, 2022 edition of the SmackDown LowDown with Jackie Redmond and Matt Camp. To start out the show, they run down the biggest headlines from Friday's SmackDown, including the Shayna Baszler win in the Gauntlet match, where she became the new #1 contender to the SmackDown Women's Championship at Clash of the Castle. Backstage, Shayna tells Megan Morant that Morgan probably did not want Shayna to win. Shayna was probably the last person that Morgan wanted to win that match, because Shayna is someone, she says, that takes limbs home with her. And she questions what Morgan is going to be able to do with one arm, because she is in storyline kayfabe injured, coming off the match with Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. And Shayna promises to leave Wales, that being Clash of the Castle, with another arm in her briefcase. She probably meant to say suitcase, but nonetheless, the point still stands. JBL, who joined Camp and Redmond on the show to help analyze the SmackDown show on Friday, JBL says that Morgan has nothing to apologize for after winning the way that she did at the pay-per-view. And the fact that JBL defended Morgan made me think maybe they are trying to turn Liv. I really hope not, because Morgan, or rather JBL, really only ever praises the heel, so I hope that's not what they're going for. But he just says what matters most is the fact that she won the biggest match of her career against Ronda at SummerSlam and escaped, still the SmackDown Women's Champion. Both JBL and Matt Camp praise Shayna's accolades from NXT, where she was a two-time NXT Women's Champion and the woman with the longest record, I think the longest amount of combined days as the NXT Women's Champion. They also recap the Ricochet-Corbin match, which Ricochet won. They compare Pat McAfee to John Madden with the way that he was kind of breaking down his win over Corbin at SummerSlam and like drawing. I forgot what they call it exactly, but I thought it was entertaining. They also recap Kofi Kingston beating Eric on SmackDown one-on-one. Megan Morant interviews Kofi Kingston backstage. Kofi says it felt great to avenge Woods' injury at the hands of the Viking Raiders from last week. And they're all about positivity and the cereal and the booty shit and all this other sort of stuff. Booty shit sounds weird, by the way, but they have to be taken seriously. He can get the job done when he needs to, and he had the kendo sticks, the broken kendo sticks from SmackDown in his hand here, and he said, this wood is for Woods, and this is Xavier's wood, he said. A very weird moment there from Kofi and Megan Morant, but I guess they expect nothing less when Kofi has a live mic in his hand. Anyway, Camp and Redmond also kind of reiterate that Kofi can get the job done. They replay the show, ending with Karrion Kross attacking Drew and staring down Roman Reigns. Quite the cliffhanger there. I thought that was very well done. They also recap Nakamura knocking off Ludwig Kaiser to earn himself an Intercontinental Championship opportunity against Gunther next week on SmackDown. Nakamura says, and I can kind of understand most of his promo, not all of it. His English isn't the greatest, but it has improved a lot over the years. He says that Kaiser cannot do anything. I think this is what he said. Ludwig Kaiser cannot do anything without Gunther's help, and he's going to teach Gunther next week what a sexy man is. And he said the word sexy man quite a bit, did Nakamura in his promo, and that was the key takeaway for JBL and Redmond and Camp. What exactly is a sexy man? JBL just says, listen, Gunther, I don't know about a sexy man, but his physique is very impressive. He got himself in a great shape coming off his NXT UK run. And he is primed for a big run here on SmackDown as well as the Intercontinental Champion. And Matt Camp kind of says the obvious when he says that Nakamura will be Gunther's toughest test to date. And as far as the Roman Reigns, Karrion Kross, Drew McIntyre stuff goes, JBL says what we've all been thinking. Legendary status will go along with whoever can beat Roman Reigns. Matt Camp says that Drew has just got to keep his focus on Roman and not anyone else going into Clash of the Castle. And JBL says McIntyre winning on that show in front of those fans in Wales for Clash of the Castle, beating Reigns, would blow the roof off the place. And I agree, it would be a great reaction. Still not 120% on board with Drew being the one to beat Roman, but I guess there's worse options. And then they hype up the upcoming WWE Women's Tag Team Title Tournament kicking off on Monday's Raw. And when Jackie says, any teams you'd like to see in it, Matt Camp kind of had to think about it for a second because there are no fucking teams currently in this company. Listen, I think the tag team titles for the women on the main roster and even NXT are pretty pointless, but that's largely not because I don't care about women's tag team wrestling. I think the Knockouts division does it great over in Impact, but the difference is that WWE has never given a fuck about women's tag team wrestling, so if they don't care, why should I care? I would hope Triple H cares a lot more than Vince does. It seems like he does, otherwise why bring back the belts? So hopefully they can make new teams, bring back teams, call up teams, whatever, to make this thing meaningful. We'll find out tonight on Raw when the tournament kicks off. But yeah, they hype up that for Monday's Raw, and that was about it for the SmackDown LowDown for August 6th, 2022. Pretty decent stuff here. We got to hear from, as I said, we heard quickly from Nakamura, we heard from Kofi Kingston, and we heard from Shayna Baszler. Getting their messages across coming out for SmackDown on Friday, where some fresh faces were featured, and it made for what I thought was a solid show overall. Thank you guys for checking out my review of this edition of the SmackDown Lowdown from Saturday, August 6th. I appreciate it. We'll be back. Hopefully this review's a lot quicker next time. Obviously the last couple of weeks, these reviews have gone up on Monday or Wednesday or whatever the fuck. This summer has been a lot of fun, but also very, very busy, so I apologize for that. I am hoping to get this up a lot quicker on Saturday or Sunday of next weekend and not on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. That being said, guys, have a great rest of your week. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.